Hey, what's up everyone, it's your girl Brainy Shanae, and today I'll be sharing with you my anticipated reads of 2023 part 3. But first I'd like to say that this video is sponsored by Tailored Canvases. Tailored Canvases is a company that provides varieties of canvases that you can put in your home. Not only can you put it in your bedroom, you could put it in your living room, family room, dining room, even in your kitchen, and also, who knows, if you could put it in your bathroom. It's that beautiful and extravagant in a specific room that you have it in, and it just sets the tone for your room. Like, particularly for me, I have one personally and it says the Cells family, and I absolutely love it so much. It's so complimentary to my wall in my family room, and I absolutely adore it and love it. And with Tailored Canvases, you can go into their website and you can use my discount brand 15, which I'll leave right here. Once again, it is brand 15, BRAND 15, and you use my discount code anytime you like. But literally, I love this company so much. I feel like you definitely do not want to sleep on them. Like I said, they give an elaborate feel to your room. Like, I particularly am going to order another canvas, and I'm going to put it probably in my bathroom, and I'm also going to put one above my bed because it's beautiful. Like I said, you can put it anywhere in your home. It makes I feel like it makes a completion to your wall. Like on mine, like I said, in my family room, I have one where it's literally right above my family's pictures that I have in that particular room, and I absolutely love it. And like I said, it's complimentary to your room. But like I said before, you can use my code brand15, and like I said, you do not want to sleep on this company. I love it, love it so much, and I highly recommend them. So definitely check out the website, and I'll also leave my discount code and their website down below in the description, so make sure you check them out. They're still having a sale for Christmas, and you could also use them for a Mother's Day gift. Like, if you want to have something for your mother's home, for a housewarming, whatever it could be, a bridal shower, whatever it is. Like, you literally could get this for anything, for anyone, for any particular moment. So definitely check them out. Now I want to share with you all the remaining books that I am anticipating for next year of 2023. So let's get started with the first book, which is The Secret Projects by Brandon Sanderson. There's at least 4 books, and I'm really excited for all of them. I know that, I think was last month, they had he himself and Tor had done a release. They had accidentally released the titles of the books, hence there was a little bit of a little mix up with communication. But I'm really excited for these books. This year, along with Bree from Bree Reads, we have been doing a Brandon Sanderson read along, and I've loved I've loved this journey reading the Cosmere series by Brandon Sanderson. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading the others. So this is definitely books that I'm going to be reading next year, and I'm really looking forward to them. This next book is the sequel to The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport, and this is The Blood Gift. So this is the conclusion. This is a duology. I'm really looking forward to reading this and finishing, this whole journey that I had reading the first book. And I hope that she gets a deal or something where I will read more by her. I know there's been a lot of questions whether she'll be writing more books or whatever, or she has to get a different publisher, but I really hope that I see more books by her. But for this one, I just love the cover. And so for the synopsis, it says, in this stunning conclusion to N.E. Davenport's fast-paced, action-packed sci-fi fantasy duology, elite warrior Akenna and her rogue cohort must outrun bounty hunters, their former comrades, and a megalomaniac miracle demigod, excuse me, I cannot talk right now, all in hopes of saving their friends and enemies from the racist and misogynistic oppression that threatens the continents from all sides. After discovering the depths of betrayal, treachery, and violence perpetrated against her by Marine's Tribunal Council and exposing her illegal blood gift to save her Praetorian squad, Akenna becomes a fugitive with a colossal bounty on her head. Yet somehow that's the least of her worries. Her grandfather's longtime allies refuse to offer help, and the Blood Emperor's warlord is tracking her. She's also struggling to control the enormous power she was granted by the goddess of blood rights, and comes to terms with the promises she made to get such power. Amidst all of this, the Blood Emperor wages a full-scale invasion against Marine and leaves a trail of decimated cities, war crimes, and untold death in his wake. As the horrors increase, Akenna and her team realize they must assassinate the Blood Emperor and quickly end the war. But the price to do so is steep and has planet-shattering consequences. The price to do nothing, though, is annihilation. War has erupted, alliances are fracturing, and Akenna is torn between her loyalties, her desires for revenge, and the power threatening to consume her. With the world aflame, only one thing is certain: blood will be spilled. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's definitely action-packed. This is the final book in the duology, and I feel like it's going to be a thick book because, like, with that description alone, I feel like a lot of stuff is going to take place and a lot of stuff is going to go down. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Also, for the Blood Gift, it's also going to be released on April 18th. So if you haven't read the Blood Trials yet, you have plenty of time. That way, right after you read the Blood Trials, you can go up and pick up your copy for the Blood Gift. Now, this next one is also a sequel to Blood Scion, which I really loved. I did a full review for it for this year, so which I'll leave up above, and that is War Widow, which the author did release the cover, and it is beautiful. There is no synopsis yet or with the release date, but I'm really excited for this sequel, and I just love the cover, so cannot wait for this one. This next one is mostly going to be a cover buy for me, but I'm really looking forward to what this book is about, and that is The Shadow Sister by Lily Mead. And just, don't you love this cover? I love the butterflies. I love her face on it. It's just stunning. And this book is going to be coming out June the 27th of next year, which I just love. And so for this book particularly, it says Sutton going missing is the worst thing to happen to Casey, to their family. She's trying to help find her sister, but Casey is furious and she can't tell anyone about their argument before Sutton disappeared. Everyone paints a picture of Sutton's perfection, the popular cheerleader with an entourage of friends, a doting boyfriend, and a limitless future. But Sutton manipulated everyone around her, even stole an heirloom bracelet from Casey. People don't look for missing black girls or half black girls without believing there is an angel to be saved. When Sutton reappears, Casey knows she should be relieved, except Sutton isn't the same. She remembers nothing about while she was gone or anything from her old life, including how she made Casey miserable. There's something unsettling about the way she wants to spend time with Casey, the way she hums and watches her goldfish swim for hours. What happened to Sutton? The more Casey starts uncovering her sister's secrets, the more questions she has. Did she really know her sister? Why is no one talking about the other girls who have gone missing in their area? And what will it take to uncover the truth? I'm really looking forward to this because this is a huge issue in the U.S. Where a lot of black girls are missing and people are not trying to find them. Like, they're just not one single thing. Like, they're not trying to look for them. Like, even when people bring it up to them on the things like, hey, like, this person is missing, this person is missing, when they tell them like, hey, they're trying to bring your attention here, they still don't do anything. And that's when a lot of people bring onto social media, because once it gets a lot of attention, that's when they start looking for them. And literally it'll be months later when they try to look for them. So I really am looking forward to this book because I feel like there needs to be a lot of books about this, especially about black girls going missing and how no one is talking about it and no one is trying to search for them. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This looks really good and sounds really good at the same time. This next book, which I'm really looking forward to, and who is the author of The Undead Truth of Us, this will be her next book, and I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I just love the cover, and that is The Dark Place. And just look at the cover. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so for this book is going to be coming out August the 8th. So I definitely recommend you read The Undead Truth of Us. I really did love it. I did a book review for it, which I'll leave up above so you can check it out, which I just loved it so much. Don't want to miss out on that read. But for what this book is about, it says, you can only hide from your nightmares for so long. 17-year-old Hailey Williams didn't ask to disappear, but she did disappear. And not only that, but when she vanished from our world, she materialized in a dark, twisted version of the night that changed her life forever, the night her older brother went missing. Just as Hailey realizes this moment could be the key to unraveling the truth about her brother, she's yanked away from the dark place back to our world. Craving a sense of normalcy, she goes to a party with her best friend, where she meets Elman Rhodes. Tall, handsome, and undeniably, inexplicably familiar, Hailey can't help the pull she feels towards him. It's a classic teen girl meets boy situation until it happens again. She disappears right in front of him. Together, Hailey and Eliam investigate the truth about time, space, and reality, with Hailey increasingly convinced her time travel holds the key to saving her brother. But the more they learn, the more Hailey begins to see darkness lurking in her world and in herself. It says Brittany S. Lewis's sophomore novel combines the quotable relatability, swoony romance, and emotional resonance resonance of John Green with the surrealist horror imagery and razor-sharp wit of Jordan Peele. At once haunting and enchanting and entirely unforgettable. So I'm really looking forward to this. If you have, like I said, if you haven't read The Undead Truth of Us, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and do that right now. It is already out. It's already released. That way you can prep yourself and get ready for her sophomore book right here, The Dark Place. So definitely check out her first book, and I'm really, really, really excited for this one too. Now, this next book I'm really looking forward to. This is an auto buy for me. Anything by Elizabeth Acevedo, I'm definitely going to be getting, and that is Family Lore. Now, this book is supposed to be coming out sometime in August, so I'm really looking forward for this one. And so it says, from best-selling National Book Award-winning author Elizabeth Acevedo comes her first novel for adults, the story of one Dominican-American family told through the voices of its women as they await a gathering that will forever change their lives. Flor has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So when she decides she wants a living wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led, her sisters are surprised. Has Flor foreseen her own death or someone else's? Does she have other motives? She refuses to tell her sisters, Mathilde, Pastora, and Camilla. But Flor isn't the only person with secrets. Mathilde has tried for decades to cover the extent of her husband's infidelity, but she must now confront the true state of her marriage. Pastora is typically the most reserved sister, but Flor's wake motivates this driven woman to solve her siblings' problems. Camilla is the youngest sibling and often the forgotten one, but she's decided she no longer wants to be taken for granted. And the next generation, cousins Anna and Yadi, face tumults of their own. Yadi is reuniting with her first love, who was imprisoned when they were both still kids. Ona is married for years and attempting to conceive. Ona must decide whether it's worth it to keep trying to have a child, and the anthropology research that's begun to feel lackluster. Spanning the 3 days prior to the wake, Family Lore traces the lives of each of the Marta women, weaving together past and present, Santo Domingo and New York City. Told with Elizabeth Acevedo's inimitable and incandescent voice, this is an indelible portrait of sisters and cousins, aunts and nieces, and it says one family's journey through their history, helping them better navigate all that is to come. And so this is her first adult novel, and I'm really looking forward to this. I feel like it has a lot of things that I love. I love the family aspect and the family dynamic of it, so I'm really looking forward to this one. A lot of books that have come out with families and stuff I really do enjoy and I really love, and I'm so happy she's coming out with an adult book, so I'm looking forward to this one. And like I said, this book is going to be coming out sometime in August, so definitely make sure you check out for that or pre-order it. This next one looks very, very good, and that is Forged by Blood. I do not want to mess up the author's name. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, so I do apologize, but this book is going to be coming out sometime in August, like August the 8th to be exact, and I'm really looking forward to this one. So it says, a brilliant new voice brings a brilliant new novel. It says debut author's first book in an action-packed, pungent duology inspired by Nigerian mythology, full of magic and emotion and set in a highly atmospheric, complex world in which a young woman fights to survive a tyrannical society, having everything stripped away from her, and seeks vengeance for her mother's murder and the spilled blood of her people. In the midst of tyrannical, I can't talk right now, regime and political invasion, Demi just wants to survive, to avoid the suspicion of the non-magical Ajes who occupy her ancestral home of Ife, to escape the king's brutal genocide of her people, the darker-skinned, magic-wielding Oluso, and to live peacefully with her secretive mother while learning to control the terrifying blood magic that is her birthright. But when Demi's misplaced trust costs her mother's life, survival gives way to vengeance, and then she bides her time until the devious Lord Owese grants her the perfect opportunity, kidnap the Ajay prince Jonas, and bargain with his life to save the remaining Oluso. This sounds really intense, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I had no idea that there's even more to the description, but I'm like, okay, that's enough, because everything else I want to be surprised, and I'm really looking forward to it. And this is the book 1 of a duology, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. This might even be a book that I pick for my book club pick. sometime this in 2023. So definitely don't sleep on this one, and I'm definitely not gonna sleep on it either because it sounds really good. This next one, I just saw the cover and I was really intrigued. I have no idea what it's about, and that is Their Vicious Games, and this comes out July 25th, and this is by Joelle Wellington, and the cover is really intriguing. And so for this one, it says a Black teen desperate to regain her Ivy League acceptance enters an elite competition only to discover the stakes aren't just high, they're deadly. In the searing thriller that's Ace of Spades meets Squid Game with a sprinkling of The Bachelor, it says you must work twice as hard to get half as much. Adina Walker has known this the entire time she's been on scholarship at the prestigious Edgewater Academy, a school for the rich and mostly white upper class of New England. It's why she works so hard to be perfect and above reproach, no matter what she must force beneath the surface. Even one slip can cost you everything, and it does. One fight, one moment of lost control leaves Adina blacklisted from her top choice Ivy League college and any other. Her only chance to regain the future she sacrificed everything for is the finish, a high-stakes contest sponsored by Edgewater's founding family, in which 12 young, ambitious women with exceptional promise are selected to compete in 3 mysterious events. And they're called the Ride, the Raid, and the Royale. The winner will be granted entry into the fold of the Remington family, whose wealth and power can open any door. But when she arrives at the finish, Adina quickly gets the feeling that something isn't quite right with both the Remingtons and her competition. And soon it becomes clear that this larger-than-life prize can only come at an even greater cost. Because the finish's stakes aren't just make or break, they're life and death. Adina knows the deck is stacked against her. It always has been. So maybe the only way to survive their vicious game is for her to change the rules. So this is a thriller. It literally says Ace of Spades meets Squid Game with a sprinkling of The Bachelor. So I'm looking forward to this. This sounds really good. Like I literally just looked at the cover and I'm like, oh, this is a book that I'm really looking forward to. I had no idea what it was about, and I'm glad that I read this because this is really intriguing. Now for this next book, it comes out on May 9th, and that is I'm Not Supposed to Be in the Dark, and this is by Rhys M. Nilsson. And I absolutely loved her other book, Deep in Providence, and I loved it. I did a book review for it, and I'll leave that up above as well. And I just love this cover so much. And so for this book, it says, from the author of Deep in Providence comes a paranormal young adult romance that follows a teen convinced that her best friend turned enemy is possessed by a ghost. And it says perfect fans of White Smoke and Twilight. And it says 17-year-old Aria Catiano dreams of ghosts. She used to see them too, but thanks to a special tea brewed by her grandfather, Aria's connection to the spirit world has been severed. Until a decades-old rose bush suddenly dies across the street, convincing Aria that something supernatural is happening in her neighborhood. She aches to investigate it, but the rose bush sits on her ex-best friend Derek Johnson's front lawn, and she can't question him because he hates her now. Aria doesn't know what drove them apart years ago, but she does know Derek's been acting strange for weeks, sneaking out in the dead of night to who knows where. Then days after the rosebush dies, Derek begins speaking to her again. At least Aria thinks it's him, until she discovers there's a ghost inside of Derek that will take his life if it doesn't find what it's searching for. As Aria and Derek race to uncover the mystery, another kind of magic takes them by surprise: love. But Aria has to decide how far she's willing to go to save Derek, especially when helping the ghost means tapping into whatever the tea has buried inside of her. Bone-chilling and spellbinding, I'm Not Supposed to Be in the Dark is a alluring ghost story that's about exercising the past to find a future to believe in. So yeah, definitely looking forward to reading this. It comes out May the 9th. I'm not trying to pre-order a lot of books next year, but I have some that I already have on deck. So I might as well add it to the plate. So literally, I'm really excited for this one. This next one comes out April the 18th of next year, and that is Sisters of the Lost Nation. This is by Nick Medina, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It says, a young native's girls hunt for answers, but the women mysteriously disappearing from her tribe's reservation lead her to delve into the myths and stories of her people. All while being haunted herself in this atmospheric and stunningly pungent debut, Anna Horn is always looking over her shoulder, for the bullies who torment her, for the entitled visitors at the reservation's casino, and for the nameless, disembodied entity that stalks her every step. An ancient tribal myth come to life, one that's intent on devouring her whole. With strange and sinister happenings occurring around the casino, Anna starts to suspect that not all the whores on the reservation are old. As girls begin to go missing and the tribe scrambles to find answers, Anna struggles with her place on the res. Desperately searching for the key she sure lies in the legends of her tribe's past. When Anna's own little sister also disappears, she'll do anything to bring Grace home. But the demons plaguing the reservation, both ancient and new, are strong, and sometimes it's the stories that never get told that are the most important. Part gripping thriller and part mythological horror, author Nick Medina spins an incisive and timely novel of life as an outcast, the cost of forgetting tradition, and the courage it takes to become who you were always meant to be. So I'm looking forward to reading this. This is going to be one of my book club picks, of course, for next year, like hands down. It sounds really, really good. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one as well. And don't forget, this book comes out April the 18th. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, I suggest you do so. And yes, this is one of the books I have on deck for pre-order. This next book is by the author who had written The Yellow Wife, and that is Sadiqa Johnson. And her next book is going to be coming out, which is going to be coming out February the 7th, and that is The House of Eve. And so for this one, let's see what this one is about. So it says, from the award-winning author of Yellow Wife, a daring, beautiful, and redemptive novel that explores what it means to be a woman and a mother and how much one is willing to sacrifice to achieve her greatest goal. So it says, in 1950s Philadelphia, 15-year-old Ruby Parcell is on track to becoming the first in her family to attend college, in spite of having a mother more interested in keeping a man than raising a daughter. But a taboo love affair threatens to pull her back down into the poverty and desperation that has been passed on to her like a birthright. Eleanor Quarles arrives in Washington, D.C. with ambition and secrets. When she meets the handsome William Pride at Howard University, they fall madly in love. But William hails from one of DC's elite wealthy black families, and his parents don't let just anyone into their folds. Eleanor hopes that a baby will make her family feel at home in William's family and grant her the life she's been searching for. But having a baby and fitting in is easier said than done. With their stories colliding in the most unexpected of ways, Ruby and Eleanor will both make decisions that shape the trajectory of their lives. This sounds really good. I have not read The Yellow Wife yet. I do plan on reading that. Hopefully be a book that I read in January, prior to The House of Eve being released in February. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This one sounds intense. It sounds really good too. So definitely cannot wait for this one. This book also is going to be coming out February the 7th, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I have not read her first book, but I do plan on reading that next year. But for this one, it's called Wild Blood, and this is by Lauren Blackwood. It looks really good. I love the cover. I just love it so much. So for this one, it says, 18-year-old Victoria is a wild blood. Kidnapped at the age of 6 and manipulated by the Exotic Lands Touring Company, she's worked as a tour guide ever since with a team of fellow wild bloods who take turns using their magic to protect travelers in a Jamaican jungle teeming with ghostly monsters. When the boss denies Victoria an earned promotion to team leader in favor of Dean, her backstabbing ex, she's determined to prove herself. Her magic may be the most powerful in the team, but she's not the image the boss wants to send their new client, Thorn, a renowned gold miner determined to reach an untouched gold supply deep in the jungle. Thorn is everything Victoria isn't confident. Thorn is everything Victoria isn't. Confident, impossibly kind, and so handsome he leaves her speechless. And when he entrusts the mission to her, kindness turns to mutual respect, turns to affection, turns to love. But the jungle is treacherous, and between hypnotic river spirits, soul-devouring women that shed their skin like snakes, and her ex out for revenge, Victoria has to decide. Is promotion at a corrupt company really what she wants? So this sounds really good. And literally on the cover it says, never betray a wild heart. So I'm looking forward to this one. This sounds really good, and I love this cover. It is so beautiful. This next one, I cannot wait to read this because I love Firekeeper's Daughter. So of course I'm going to read this, and it's going to be a book club pick for next year, and that is Warrior Girl Unearthed, and this is by Angeline Bully. Love this cover so much. This book comes out May the 2nd, and let's just take a moment to just love this cover. It's beautiful and just gorgeous. So for this book, it says, from the New York Times bestselling author of Firekeeper's Daughter comes a thrilling YA mystery about a native teen who must find a way to bring an ancestor home to her tribe. It says Perry Firekeeper Birch was ready for her summer of slack, but instead, after a fender bender that was entirely not her fault, she stuck working to pay back her auntie Donis for repairs to the Jeep. Thankfully, she has the other outcasts of the summer program, Team Misfit Toys, and even her twin sister Pauline. Together, they ace obstacle courses, plan vigils for missing women in the community, and make sure Summer doesn't feel so lost after all. But when she attends a meeting at a local university, Perry learns about the Warrior Girl, an ancestor whose bones and knife are stored in the museum archives, and everything changes. Perry has to return Warrior Girl to her tribe. Determined to help, she learns all she can about NAGPRA, the federal law that allows tribes to request the return of ancestral remains and sacred items. The university has been using legal loopholes to hold onto Warrior Girl and 12 other Anishinaabe ancestors' remains. Hopefully I'm saying that right. If I did not say it right, I do apologize. And then it says Anishinaabe ancestor remains, and Perry and the Misfits won't let it go on any longer. Using all their skills and resources, the Misfit realize a heist is the only way to bring back the stolen artifacts and remains for good. But there is more to this repatriation than meets the eye, as more women disappear and Pauline's perfectionism takes a turn for the worse. As secrets and mysteries unfurl, Perry and the Misfits must fight to find a way to make things right for the ancestors and for their community. So this sounds really good. Like I said, I loved Firekeeper's Daughter. So I know I'm going to love this one, and it just sounds so good. So definitely cannot wait. And of course, it brings up Auntie Donis, so we get to see Donis for a little bit too from Firekeeper's Daughter. So looking forward to that as well. Now, this next book, I'm really just nosy. I can be the most nosiest person ever, and I really want to know the tea. So I'm really looking forward to this book because I just want to know. And so we have Spare by Prince Harry. This book is going to be coming out January the 10th, literally the first month of the year of 2023. So I'm looking forward to this. I really want to know what he has to say. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things coming out that we will all get to learn. And so for this one, it says, it was one of the most searing images of the 20th century. Two young boys, two princes, walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror. As Diana, Princess of Wales, was laid to rest, billions wondered what the princess must be thinking and feeling, and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is that story at last. With its raw, unflinching honesty, Spare is a landmark publication full of insight, revelation, self-examination, and hard-won wisdom about the eternal power of love over grief. It says Prince Harry wishes to support British charities with donations from his proceeds from Spare. It says Prince Harry will also donate to nonprofit organizations like the Well Child. And it says which he has been a royal patron of them for 15 years and makes it possible for children and young people with complex health needs to be cared for at home instead of hospital wherever possible. So everything that, when you buy this book, literally this is all going to go towards his organizations and stuff. So literally to donate for his organizations that he does. And I really like that so much. Literally it says all the books and stuff in the proceeds will go to, will be donated to all the organizations. So I really I said that already, but I'm gonna say that again. That's really nice of him to do that. I really appreciate him for that. That's just awesome. So yeah, Spare. Definitely looking forward to reading this. Sounds really good. And like I said, it comes out January the 10th. Now for this book's going to be coming out June the 6th. This is an auto buy for me. This is a auto buy for this particular author, which I love him so much. I love his book. I love all his books. I love all his writing. His writing is just magnificent, and I will always read his books. And that is All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I am looking forward to this, and I'm just loving this cover. And so for this one, it says Titus Crown is the first Black sheriff in the history of Charron County. A former FBI agent and security expert, Titus came home to take care of his father and look out for his troubled younger brother. He ran for sheriff to make a difference, especially in the Black community, which has so often been treated unfairly by the police. But a year to the day after his election, a school shooting rocks the town. A beloved teacher is killed by a former student, and as Titan attempts to de-escalate and get the boy to surrender, his deputies fire a fatal shot. In the investigation, it becomes clear that the student they shot had been abused by the dead teacher, as well as by unidentified perpetrators. The trail leads to buried bodies and secrets, while Titus tries to track down a killer hiding in plain sight while balancing daily duties like protecting Confederate pride marchers. He must face what it means to be a black man wearing a police uniform in the American South. So, this sounds really deep. It sounds really tense. I know I'm definitely going to be emotional reading this. And it's definitely going to be an emotional read, but I'm here for it. And I'm just ready. I'm ready. So definitely looking forward for when this comes out on June the 6th. Now, last but not least, this book is going to be coming out March the 14th. There's really not a description about this book, but I was really intrigued with the cover, so I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And that is Rootless. This is by Crystal Zara-Apia. Like I said, there's no description about this book, but I'm really enjoying it. Like the cover, like I'm enjoying this cover. It's beautiful. The only description I can say is that a provocative debut novel about a marriage in crisis that asks the question, can you ever be rooted in a home that's on the brink of collapse? So this sounds really, really good. And like I said, this book comes out March the 14th of next year. But that is it. These are all the books, y'all. All the books that I am anticipating in 2023. I really hope you enjoyed part 1 and part 2, and also I hope you enjoyed this video, part 3. If you did, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope everyone is staying healthy and staying safe and staying warm. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. See ya.